Welcome to the second recorded Stehreel session for the game The Three Children of Trouble. We are down one player this evening. Colin had to step out for a special occasion. So you may find that Eryx disappears for a little while. In the meanwhile, let's do a quick recap of what happened last time. The wizards at the School of Wizardry responded to a request for aid from an Omniomancer working for a baroness in the country of Schotzenberg, the Queendom of Schotzenberg. And they gathered together a party to send to this barony to help the Omniomancer that had requested aid. The party was composed of Eryx, a tall Caldera demon Omniomancer, Anne, a mountain elf transmuter, Asheryn, a moon elf thief, and Alasdair Grimm, a mountain elf berserker. They arrived at portals created by Omniomancers that sent them spinning through space in less time than it would take to attempt to fly, ride, or take ships to reach their destination. Once they'd all arrived, they met. There was almost an altercation between our two mace-wielding members of the party, Alasdair and Eryx. But before they could come to blows, the Omniomancer in question arrived, Alexander Kraus, who then said that the entire castle was going to hell. As well, you could hear from the thundering thumps, whooshes, and crashes from inside. He does seem rather frazzled. All right. Let's begin. You really have arrived at the most opportune moment for us, Alexander says. Or inopportune for you, perhaps. I do hope that you remain safe.
Safe from what?
Well, I'm really not the best at explaining these sorts of things, and honestly, I really must, I'm afraid, take your companion Eryx aside and discuss some weighty matters with him involving the School of Wizardry. But if you would proceed to the north, through the doors there in the windows, into the throne room, and meet with the captain of our guard, she will be able to better inform you about the many things that are happening right now.
Well, I suppose we don't have any other option.
Well then, follow me. I know all about heroine. I begin walking off in a random direction.
Is that the way we're supposed to be going?
No, to the north. Alexander points behind him.
But I smell beer off in that direction. Alright, beer later. Heroine.
Alexander steps aside with Eryx, and they talk, leaving the three of you free to journey to the north, to the big glass windows.
She'll follow the bizarre kilted man in the direction they were supposed to go.
Asheryn follows after, wondering if the large, bizarre man even knows where he's going.
All right. To the north, you find that the glass is really a 2-story tall arched window that's slightly opaque, with a door on the left side and a door on the right. Through the window itself, you can see the backs of thrones, as if when the Baroness and Baron sit in judgment or council or whatever in their throne room, their backs are to the tree and their city, and they face inwards towards the rest of the room. The glass door is slightly ajar, showing that it is unlocked and ready to be opened.
Did you say the door was open?
Yes, it is slightly ajar.
Alright, then Alasdair will barge in. Alright, wee folk, never fear, the heroes are here. What needs bashing?
At your declaration, Alasdair, you see a purple woman in full armor, carrying a shield on one arm and a sword on the other, look in your direction. She seems surprised at the sight of you, and a little confused.
Is he going
Who's
all the
this
way
then?
into the room?
Yes.
Well, follow him into the room. Greetings. Hi. My name is Anne. This is, point at the strange kilted man, because she has forgotten his name already.
Alasdair Grimm at your service. We came to bash something.
And she'll turn to the moon elf. And you were...
Asheryn.
Sorry, there wasn't really time for formal introductions. So maybe you could inform us a little bit more about what's been going on here?
Woman strides over, steps up onto the bottom step of the dais that you find yourself standing on, looks your small party over, says, "Well, that's a tale. Please allow me to introduce myself. I am Effie Malstrater. I am the captain of the Baroness's Guard. I assume that you're the help that Omniomancer Kraus requested? If so, well,
Help?
we have...
We ain't here to wash the dishes, lass. We be big damn heroes.
Her eyebrows raise. Big talk for a man, she says with a shrug.
Ooh.
Well, heroes then. Big damn heroes. You'll have your work cut out for you. We've been plagued. We had a cleric of the Nameless, great demons, that snuck his way into the castle and has taken over the cathedral up top. He is being held back by our resident priestess of Delilah. And demons have been pouring into the cathedral and the bell tower. He seems to have been able to summon in some reinforcements, some fellow clerics of foul design. If that weren't bad enough, I just received word from my captain of the Oubliette Guard that one of our high-profile prisoners has managed to escape. may be right now attempting to break her way out of the most secure vault in all of Blechten Duchy. Yet, if you would prefer to wash dishes, my head butler has informed me that she has a matter most dire that needs attention. I am sure she would be happy to put you to use in the kitchens.
I don't understand. Does she not hear the words coming out of my mouth? I said we're not here to wash dishes. Do they not speak plain down here?
I guess you haven't heard of sarcasm where you came from. So what you're saying is that your castle is currently under siege.
From above and below.
I thought you said only a single prisoner had broken out. Are you looking at more than that, or is it still just the one?
Trust me, the one is enough. There's a reason why we have kept her here in the oubliette rather than in the city prisons. She is extremely dangerous.
Ha! Give me a barrel of whiskey, and I'll work me mountain of charms on her.
Such as they are.
Her eyebrows raise once more towards her hairline. Certainly. I was not aware that mountain elf men liked to fraternize with with serial killers of any sort. Is that new? I have not been to the Federal Republic in many years.
Well, she doesn't need to know that I'm here to bash her head. I'll put on the charm and I'll get close enough and I'll bash her.
You do like to bash. You don't have much finesse, do you, Mr. Grimm?
For what?
Wait, so let me get this straight. Your castle's under siege, and you weren't even aware what kind of help was being sent to you? You don't even know who we are?
No. In fact, I was trying to handle it on my own. But I seem to be failing. I was grateful to the Omniomancer for requesting aid, but I had no part in it.
Okay, so which of the threats do you consider to be the most immediate?
She looks distraught for the first time, breaking her composure. I would say all of them, but honestly, I am most concerned about the prisoner in the oubliette right now. Our priestess of Delilah is fairly confident that she can hold off the demons in the tower for a few more nights, if necessary. We will need to attend them.
You said all of them. If you were just speaking of the prisoner and the priestess situation, wouldn't you have said both? Do you consider the situation with your butler to also be included?
She looks a little sheepish. While I may have been acidic towards your friend here, I must admit, my butler is not one prone to flights of fancy, nor does she often request help any more than I do. So, yes, I do consider any matter that she might consider requesting aid for of some import.
But you don't know what she needs aid for?
No, I have not had time to pursue it. We have been under constant siege from the demons above.
Okay. Well, we're here to help. Just point us in the right direction, though it might be a good idea to call the butler back and just say, hey, give me a quick rundown of what's going on.
A younger Star Elf man makes his way up behind the captain of the guard. He is dressed also in armor, with a rapier at his hip, and a big smile on his face. He says, "I can go see what the butler requires, Captain, if you'd like. Seems like you and the two lieutenants have the throne room pretty well set up, and now that you have aid, I'm certain that I could properly go for you." He grins. She nods to him. Yes, Mr. Gunder, please. Go see about the butler. And if you would, send one of the servants in. I'm going to need to have a guide take our help down towards the oubliette.
Well, if you're sure that's where we're most needed, I will tell you, I'm extra good at bashing demons. I'll smack my giant spiked club in my hand a few times. Ow.
While he's doing that, Asheryn mutters probably loud enough for Anne to hear, "Brown nose much?"
Mr. Gunder hops off at a sharp trot, not having
tries
heard.
to hide a smile. So, okay, can you give us some more information about your prisoner? How is she killed before? How will she potentially try to kill us now?
All I know is that we picked her up for serial murder in the city, and that she was extremely powerful and killed a number of guards before we could subdue her. The one who would be best to debrief you is the captain of our oubliette guard, and I will have a servant take you directly to her so that she can tell you more about the prisoner.
Okay.
I am grateful for your help, she says, in a manner that suggests she is not accustomed to thanking anyone. And then she steps back towards the two women who are standing at the far north end of the throne room, both swordswomen.
Okay. So,
Are the three of you just going to stand in the entryway there, or move further into the room?
Inward we go. She said she was going to have someone escort us.
Yes.
Okay.
She said that she had requested the aid of a servant to be a guide for you.
I'm a little confused about this whole the butler needs needs help, and it's an important thing.
It
She
must
says
not be
that.
that.
Yeah, just you guys.
No.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, it must not be that important if the butler's not willing to talk about it.
What could be more important than demons and serial killers? Except maybe a demon serial killer.
That
Okay. Yeah.
that would be rather serious.
Deep thoughts from the Berserker. Deep thoughts.
Though I doubt that this particular serial killer is a demon, they probably would have mentioned that. Or, said, hey, it's a demon, kill it, instead of it's a serial killer, arrest it.
The doors at the far north of the throne room burst open, and a young moon elf man scurries across the marble floor towards where you're at. He is dressed in the clothes of a servant, and has the look of a servant. His eyes are downcast, and he moves with alacrity, as if expecting a cuffing if he fails to comply. He scurries up to your group of three, bows low, in the manner of star elves, at the waist, and says, "Good evening. May I take you to the oubliette?"
Yes, please.
Tyler, lead the way.
He nods, and with only a sideways glance at the dark-cloaked thief that seems a bit curious, he scurries off to lead your group north. And now if only my mouse would comply. There we are. He leads you past the 3 swordswomen into
Himself.
into a hall that seems to be very fine. The marble is well kept. There are paintings up on the wall and a number of doors along it. This seems to be a procession hall of some kind. This is where, the guests first see the castle when coming in. He is quiet as he leads you along, but he does seem open to the idea of conversation, should any of you decide to start one with him.
So what's your take on what's going on around here?
He glances at Asheryn. He says to you, I am just a servant, sir. I cannot say that I know much, but I can tell you that most of the castle has been abandoned during the last evening, as enemy forces seem determined to destroy us while the Baroness is away.
The Baroness is away.
Yes, my lord. The Baroness Elbenwasser is off at a retreat of some kind, far to the north. The captain, Effie, is in charge of the castle in the Baroness and Baron's absence.
Did any of the guard go with her?
Yes, milady. A number of the guard did go with her. We are quite short-staffed at the time. I heard one of the lieutenants talking, and it seems like that might be why we are under attack right now. Perhaps the miscreants and malcontents decided to wait until an opportune moment to strike.
And was this a widely publicized departure?
It was the departure was done with some pomp and circumstance here in the castle, my lord, but it was only here. The city itself is unaware of her absence and where she might have gone.
Is it now?
So it was likely someone within the castle who had foreknowledge of it?
Yes, milady. I do believe that is the case. As does our priestess of Delilah, who is most concerned. Most of her order left with the Queen to offer their spiritual guidance, and only she remains to serve Delilah in the castle.
Well, since the Baroness left with her retinue, has anybody who's supposed to have stayed behind suddenly up and disappeared?
Well, no, my lord. If we did have a visiting guest from Western Schotzenberg, who was in staying with the priestesses in the cathedral, but no one has been able to get up there to see whether or not he is okay. You walk out of the hall into a open 2-floor entry hall with a pair of swooping stairs that lead down to the lower floor. He continues leading you through beautiful halls that seem to be designed for outside observers to see, and eventually down through what appear to be servants' quarters, and eventually into a much grimmer portion of the castle. The walls, instead of being designed for beauty, seem instead to be designed for utility. It leads you down a set of spiral stairs towards what appears to be the lowest portion of the castle, or at least the lowest previous to entering dungeons proper. The halls are bare stone, smoothed but bare, and there are many doors that you can see in your little hallway area. Alasdair, you are suddenly struck with the feeling that there are demons nearby.
Ooh, demon sense is tingling, fellas. Time to get to business.
Down here? Aren't they all supposed to be upstairs?
Ha!
The moon elf looks frightened and scurries off the stairs and a little back a ways, as if afraid that the demon might pop out from any corner. There shouldn't be any demons down here, he says.
There shouldn't be forces sacking the castle either, now should there?
His eyes are quite wide.
We should probably try and figure out where the demons you feel are, where that feeling is coming from, in that case.
Aye. You lad, what's on this level here?
This is the guard floor, my lord. This is where the guards train and where they bunk and where they eat.
Which way to their bunkhouse?
It's all around us, my lord.
How many guards are down here right now? Any of them?
I do not think so, milady, except for the guards of the oubliette.
Are the guards all Drukar and Eldar?
Drukar, milady.
Okay. Well, we don't have to worry about accidentally popping across a hunting guard. What? There are crazier things. We showed up with one.
Yes, an accident would be tragic. So tragic. Alright, where would these guards of the oubliette be?
The moon elf servant seems afraid to actually lead any further from this point now that it has been said that there are demons about.
Just point with your wee fingers.
He points off to the left. Down that hall, and the first hallway on your right will lead you to the oubliette entrance area.
Alright, probably don't have anyone to spare, but just so they're forewarned, scurry on back and tell them that there be demons down here. Alright, come on, let's get to work.
The moon elf needs no second prompting and disappears on his way up the stairs.
I hope he's safe to head back and that the demons weren't showing up behind us.
Oh, well, I suppose that could be the case. The nose don't know exactly where they are. The nose just knows what it knows.
Well, for now, let's just follow the nose to where it needs to go.
You find yourself in a long hall that seems to run the entire length of the castle, from one side to the other. To the right, you see a couple of doors on the right-hand side that seem to be doors into bedrooms or rooms of some kind, and a pair of double doors off to the left that seem to lead into a more important area. Right near you, you've got a couple of doors that seem to lead into bedrooms, areas of some kind, and several doors along the left-hand wall that seem to do the same. About halfway down the hallway to your left, you do see what appears to be the entrance to another hall. Same down the hallway to your right.
Well, here's the hall that he was talking about over here.
I going to head down towards where he said the guards would be, not bothering to stop at any of these other doors unless, I hear obvious sounds of people being eaten by demons.
Well, it's good that you're listening. There's some a tearing sound of some kind, and a small pop as an imp appears down the hall, tearing its way through the veil from the umbral plane and appearing in physical reality. As if that single appearance was a call to arms, you see a second, and a third. A fourth appears behind you, and a fifth, and a sixth, all chattering demons, laughing with spears and bucklers, ready to do battle. Battle has been joined. Now let's see if I can remember how to create an initiative chart.
Sorry.
There we are. There's turn order.
Apparently, Asheryn is the only one who gets to go.
Asheryn, you're the only one who's allowed to go.
Sweet.
I'm afraid that means you're probably going to be overrun by 6 demons.
I'm not.
Oh, that's true. You'll just stealth. Can you tell me what your initiative total is, please?
Yes, my initiative is 40.
Okay. Alasdair, can you tell me what your initiative is? You'll find it on your character sheet. 34. And can you tell me what your initiative is?
If you remind me how to calculate it.
There should be a spot on your character sheet that says initiative. It is intelligence plus intelligence total plus speed total.
It's 41.
Oh, somebody's faster than me.
That's what my initiative says on here. Though I would think it would be 39. Oh. It's based on actual instead of base. Is that correct, James?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, then it is 41.
I admit I'm not used to being on Asheryn and having somebody being faster than me.
It's, transmuters and intelligence.
True.
All right. We have 6 imps. Then we have Anne first, Asheryn next, Alasdair third, and then all of the demons. Anne, what would you like to do as your first action?
Well, first of all, I'm assuming that we're aware of all these imps and not just the ones ahead of us, correct?
You are quite aware that you are surrounded. They were
Okay.
not being quiet when they came out of the umbral plane.
Then I'm going to go for the imps on the right, the one nearest the staircase. Using the element of stone, I'm
Imp
going
number
to...
5.
What?
Imp number 5.
I have no idea.
Can you not see the names?
No.
No.
Okay. I can see the names. I will keep track of those then. It is imp number 5.
Okay, then imp number 5. And I'm going to use the element of stone to transmute a... I guess I'm assuming the floor is made of stone. Am
The
I
floor
correct?
is made of stone.
Okay, and I'm going to I'm going to transmute a
Yes.
spike up from the ground, hopefully up through the imp.
Okay. Please roll your wisdom to hit the imp.
Nice.
That is a good roll.
56.
No, it's only 45. You had the 10s exploding, so they already rerolled.
Oh, okay, then 45.
Still a good roll, though. The imp is attempting to get out of the way of your spike. That doesn't look so good.
I think his directional certainty is off.
I think he might not be looking below him. All right, that one reduces the total from 19 to 13 because ones act as -5 in the Baelworker system. So, you scored a critical hit against the imp. Please roll your willpower for critical effect. The imp is going to attempt to resist your critical effect and fail miserably. All right. Go ahead and roll your damage, please.
Of course.
All right. Well, since it's a damage roll, the one does not count as a -5, so it's 26 points of damage. Plus... Do transmuters get bonus to damage? I forget. Give me 1 second.
I was gonna say, sorry, dude, I've got the Book of Knowledge of Power open, but it's open to thief skills, not to transmuter skills.
That's all right. I jumped to transmuter in mine.
Yeah, I feel like
You are manipulating this stone, and the manipulation just increases the complexity of the object. Okay. In that case, for the cost of 10 spark, you drop to the ground, setting your bag aside rather quickly. Scrawling across the stone with your stylus, you write out the formula, which channels across the floor through a pencil-thin line of stone until it reaches the spot right below imp number 5. And a spike of stone suddenly sprouts from the ground, slamming into the bottom of the beast, spearing it where it's at, doing a sum total of 52 points of damage. Minus his 6 resistance to overt magical attacks. So that makes it 46 damage altogether. The imp is also impaled on the spike since you succeeded in your critical effect roll, and seems to be floundering on it, as if unsure how to get off of it, despite the fact that the imp has wings. Asheryn, I believe that makes it your turn.
Yes. Well, fade into the background.
All right. You slip into stealth. The imps nearest you, the only ones that can have line of sight on you, we'll say that the one that is currently speared is a little bit too distracted to be looking for you. But the other two attempt to spot you as you disappear from their line of sight. Imp 4 rolls to look. And though he tries mightily, he can't spot you. Imp number 6 cranes his head to look, and though he tries mightily, he cannot spot you. Man, they're wasting their good rolls on attempting to spot the hidden thief. Poor guys. All right. You are successfully stealthed. Are you moving from your spot?
What's my movement? 2.5.
Feel free to round up movement distance through Roll20, since there are. You will find that you'll have halves at times, and I'm willing to just allow the full meter movement.
No, I'm gonna stay put.
Okay. Doing anything else while you're stealthed, or just chilling out?
I can only move, so I'm
well, instant actions, I mean.
No, that's all I'm doing.
Okay. All right. Alasdair, you're up. What you doing?
Well, I'm going to laugh maniacally and charge into battle. Which I have no idea how to do, essentially. Okay, so how far? My movement is
2.5.
2.5.
And the range of your club is 2 meters plus 1. 1 is expected to be the reach of your arm, and then the 2 meters is the actual reach of the weapon. So you don't actually have to move your full 3 meters in order to engage any of the 3 imps.
So I can smack him from here.
Yes, you can.
and I have not made any macros because I'm still not entirely sure what I'm doing. So, just a regular old vanilla attack is my dex dice pool, right?
That is correct.
And are there any modifiers or penalties to that?
No, you have an affinity towards your club, so there is no deductions. You don't have any bonuses for any skills or anything, so just your straight dexterity.
Yep, that sounds about right for Roll20 and me.
Ouch.
Ooh, Roll20 hates you.
You have no idea.
Right. Imp number 1, which is the one that you're targeting. Go ahead, Reid.
No, I was just going to say, well, I'm starting to get this feeling that Alasdair's main contribution to combat is going to be a loud flailing thing.
There's a lot of noise coming back from behind you. You can interpret that to mean whatever you want. There's a lot of walls cracking, a lot of laughing maniacally.
Oh!
Even an occasional dote.
Oh!
Wow.
You may have rolled bad. The imp rolled worse. The imp managed to get a flat 0 in his roll.
So guess what? Your 12 is a critical hit.
Critical blow! Go ahead. You got a dangerous weapon, but that just means that you get a critical effect roll on any normal hit. Since this is a critical hit, go ahead and roll your strength to determine whether or not you get a critical effect on the imp. The imp says, "No, right? Please don't hurt me." Yes.
Does that include on damage rolls?
Which you can say. Yes.
Okay.
You can set your dice to exploding, and they will re-roll all 10s. So, or just put an exclamation point after the roll if you're typing it out.
Ah, then I will do that next time. In the meantime, here, have some extra damage dice.
Well, that was actually just to determine your critical effect. Now we're going to roll damage. So go ahead and roll your strength for damage, because you've gained a critical effect against your opponent.
Hey, damage rolls, ones are not -5s.
Ones are not -5 in damage rolls. You cannot do negative damage. All right. Your club, what did I say that was? Bonus
15, I think.
25?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think you said 25.
Well, the base was 15.
Ah, yes.
Gotcha. Yeah, because it's made of a rare material, so it increases the damage by 10 points. So, okay. You charge forward, yelling in a sound that echoes and reverberates off of the close walls. Swing your club in a swift downward motion. Bam! There is a resounding crack as the pavement, the stone below the imp, explodes in a shatter of shards and blood and little bits of bone. There is no Imp 1 anymore. It is gone. It's been wiped off the face of the planet.